listening to Wanderin the Hobby with Ryno. Brought to you by Ryno Sports Cards and Memorabilia in Bellingham, Washington. For more, follow us on Instagram at Ryno Sports Cards or rynosportscards.com.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Wanderin the Hobby with Ryno. Today we are excited to bring to you some more shop talk as there is a lot going on in the industry. Before we get started though, let's talk about our show sponsor, Better Health. Whether you're collecting cards or chasing championships, peak performance starts with Better Life products. Created by four-time NBA champ John Sally, Better offers clean, high-quality supplements that fuel your body and support your wellness goals. Vegan, cruelty-free, and loaded with all-natural ingredients, Better is here to keep you at the top of your game. Ready to live better? Visit shopbetterlife.com and use promo code RYNOS, RYNOS, for free shipping on your first order. That's betterlife.com. Better products for a better life.
Man, crazy times in the hobby, everybody. Crazy times. We are seeing an influx in football, baseball, Pokemon, everything. It's. I mean, we're going crazy with prices, and scalpers are coming out of the closets again, and they're jumping right back in, raising these prices. So, Pokemon, right? Yeah,
it's crazy right now. I mean, even stuff that I wouldn't say people that say look down on, but like. You got Twilight Masquerade, Shroud of Fable, all that stuff is sold out everywhere you go. But it's even singles. I think the biggest boom is obviously singles. There's cards that were, $30 cards in October, November. I mean, heck, even December that are $150, $200 cards now. It's crazy.
And like every single. So like every single from like promo cards too. Yeah. Like the promo cards are starting to go wild. Watching all the different the tracking that we're able to do with all the different apps that are out there now. Every set seems to have cards that are just going through the roof. 151 obviously has some crazy bangers in there. But then like you mentioned too, Shrouded Fables, one of the ones that you're able to generally find everywhere. Now that's starting to be purchased up. Yeah. And then we just had the big craziness with prismatic evolutions. Yeah. We are able to get a couple of cases of those in here. And those, boy, the scalpers were having a field day with those. Those are $130. We were at the card show. Yeah. And they're selling for $130, $140 down there, down in Tacoma. Yeah. Yeah, that was absolutely absurd. I don't know what's next with it. It's kind of weird, like thinking about where this is going to go, like what is going to happen with Pokemon, because the next set is already being pre-ordered with that Journey Together.
Yeah, the Gym Heroes set.
Yes, that one's already being pre-ordered for the booster boxes, over $300 on eBay. Yeah. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's like what a case of ETBs was going, I think I saw on eBay was like $800 or something like that. It's
crazy. Like I'm not, guys, to be all in transparency, I'm not one of those guys like, you're taking it from the kids, Like, we have a special guest here with us is Piper. My daughter's here today. Piper, say hi.
Hello.
Yeah, so, she likes to open up Pokemon cards, things like that. And Pokemon cards are expensive. Cards are expensive in general, right? Like I don't think scalpers should be purchasing all of them on there. Again, that's why we try to keep fair priced in here with it. But it's like, they are collector's items, and people do grade them to make money. And it's... I don't know. I always get torn, right? Because I like opening up packs. I like grading some. But it's just weird because I feel like every Pokemon card from like their SARs or full arts or EXs, everything's going up in price. Yeah. We're buying them from customers. Ones that I turned down 2 months ago are bringing them back in that I have to buy right now.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it's a crazy boom.
Yeah, I'd say, and I feel like the biggest chase used to just be like SARs, and then you had your first editions, first edition Team Rocket. There was some in each specialty set that you kind of wanted. And it's like everything now besides obviously base is, you got the Master Balls, you got the Pokeballs, you got the Reverse Hollows. Like everything right now is just taking off EXs, VMAX, V-Star, SIRs, SARs. Everything is just going crazy through the roof.
Well, and the change in our shop, right? So like it's Ryno Sports Cards, right? But we are currently we're probably selling 70% Pokemon, 30% to 30% sports. Now, in fairness to some of the customers, we've been keep getting bought out of all of our football, but Pokemon is going crazy over there, and they're buying all of it. And it's kind of a new thing for us since we've been open. It's been a lot of sports. It was like that 80-20, 70-30 for sports, but now Like we can't.
I think it's honestly pretty close to almost 50-50. I mean, looking at
Really?
the shelving, it's almost as much
Yeah.
shelf space as our wax wall. Like,
Right.
you know, it's just how dense it is and everything else. It's just crazy that, I mean, what was that the weekend we went to Vegas? We had ETBs galore besides maybe like 151 and like surging sparks here and there. And we came back when, you know, Ragnar Rick was running the shop. Shout out Ragnar Rick. But we came back from that and he was like, dude, they wiped us out. Like the shelves were empty of anything Pokemon. The
That's
wall
true.
was crazy. I was like,
It's true.
I almost was like, did you just take it home and open it? Because it was like completely gone. And it was just like that weekend when we were in Vegas, it was probably 75% Pokemon and 25% sports, which was crazy.
I think we kind of noticed it there too, right?
Yeah, it was like a weird shift. Yeah,
It was a weird shift. 80%. So yeah, 75, 80% in Vegas at the Front Row Card Show was Pokemon. It was incredible. Seeing everybody there excited for it, it kind of go, all right, well maybe we need to kind of see what's going on with this. But by the time we got back, all the ETBs were gone.
Yeah,
all the
everything
booster boxes were gone.
Yeah,
and we, you know, for a minute there, I'm buying a bunch of the Pokemon and just have stacks and stacks and stacks in the back.
Yeah.
Now there's nothing. Like there is no extras.
No, that's
right?
what we got. Is what we got.
Exactly, but we are always going to be fair with the prices and stuff, even when these crazy trends happen. But I'm excited for it. It makes shops like this even more of a destination to come rip and come hang out with us and do Pokemon trade nights and come hang out with us for our Tops Rip night where we're doing Pokemon cards as well. That's just going to further progress like the hobby with people ripping.
Yeah.
That's one of the big things, man, is like making sure everybody sees like it's a hobby and it's fun.
Yeah.
There are the scalpers out there and things like that, but you know, bringing the kids by and ripping a pack and still seeing them get super excited about it, this helps everybody kind of remember like it can still be fun.
Yeah.
There's still cool things out there.
Sure.
There's still packs that are $5. You don't have to go buy a Surging Sparks pack. You don't have to go buy a prismatic pack, even though, you know, pulling that new Umbreon would be freaking amazing.
Anything, honestly.
Any of the evolutions. Before we move on with this, Piper, who's your favorite Pokemon?
Pikachu.
Pikachu. Nice. What happened to Diglett? Didn't you like Diglett for a while?
Yeah, I really like Diglets. I had a collection of them.
Yep, absolutely. And your Pikachu collection, we'll have to start getting that for you. That's what I like about Pokemon too, the binders, poster collections, everything like that. It's still a lot of fun to collect. And make sure to come check us out over here at Ryno Sports Cards. We definitely have the Pokemon selection for booster boxes, ETBs. Ragnar Rick comes and hangs out over here with us and teaching us the ins and outs of Pokemon.
Yeah, so I mean, we're just sitting here. I mean, we're 2 weeks away from Super Bowl. You know, had the conference championships. Of course, it's obviously Chiefs and Eagles again. You know, I feel like the Eagles are about every couple years, and Chiefs obviously 3 years in a row. I mean, with that said, you know, with them being there 3 years in a row, and like 5 in the past 6 or 4 in the past 5 or something like that.
Too many.
I mean, it's kind of. Does it get to a point? Do you feel like maybe like it waters down everything with like the hobby of like, you know, it's always just Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey and those guys, because like they don't really have, you know, like Rashid Rice wasn't super big in the hobby. Like, I mean, he sold well for a little bit, and then I mean Xavier Worthy this year, I don't think that he has much cards out right now, but you know, you have your rated rookie Mahomes, your downtown Mahomes. I think Kelsey's got a downtown at one point. Like, I mean, does it feel like it just becomes everybody wants those guys at that point, or what do you think, honestly? Because that's how I feel a lot of times.
Yeah, I feel like the hobby kind of spoke with the excitement around Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels. I think the hobby kind of spoke, and it was like, man, we want some fresh blood, right?
Yeah.
Like everybody, what was it? This was the most watched playoff game since like the moon landing. It was crazy, like stats with that. It was insane what was happening for playoff weekend.
Yeah.
And like for us, like we're selling 2024 hobby boxes for people trying to pull Jaden.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like that CJ,
like
that
just
CJ
Jaden
bump,
base.
just Jaden base.
Yeah.
Right. We're at the card show, and they're selling like the rainbow. One of our really good friends, Ryan, sold the rainbow of Jaden Daniels base from Certified for $600.
Yeah.
Incredible. But people were excited. Everybody. I was talking about it. You know, Bills going in there against Commanders. How rad that would have been.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody would have tuned into that.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch the Super Bowl because it's the Super Bowl. But could you imagine what would have happened?
That would have been like every '90s like underrated kid that wanted to go against the grain.
Yeah.
Like Redskins back then, but Commanders now.
Sure.
And then
I
Bills
still can't
with
say
Jim
that.
Kelly.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah, like I feel like that was a lot of people's like favorite teams because they didn't like the Cowboys, they didn't like the Niners. You know,
Nope.
it's kind of like how people are now. Like they just like the Chiefs because they're good. Like you didn't want to like.
Well, yeah, not only good though. I mean, come on. Let's say what everybody else is saying with it though too is that the NFL has written that script, bro. I mean, you can't LeBron James flop out of bounds and everything, and then try to get every call, and you know the defenders are hitting themselves, but yet Patrick Mahomes is getting the call.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rough, you know, because at the card show we sold a Jaden Daniels kaboom.
Mm-hmm.
We sold a Josh Allen rookie 1010 PSA 10 on card auto. It was great. Nobody was asking about Mahomes.
No. We had the
tables
rated
around,
rookies sitting optic sitting there.
Optic rated rookies, PSA 10. We had all these. Nobody's asking about any of that. And that just kind of shows with the hobby, like, okay, you got 3. This is great. You're going again.
Yeah.
What really surprised me is Hurts. Hurts gets no love.
Yeah.
PSA 10, $40.
I feel like he's the Trey Young of the NFL. Like he's got all the
would
hype
agree.
and all the name, and he performs, but he just
I would agree.
doesn't matter what it is on it.
What this Super Bowl has going for it, though, is the Saquon Barkley effect.
Yeah.
For me, watching like Hard Knocks and things like that, like Saquon, it would be amazing if he gets a ring.
Yeah.
It's the weird thing is I don't know what that really does to his market. We've had some Saquon rated rookies in here. They didn't take too big of a bump with the season he's having.
No.
He didn't get that like Jaden Daniels, right, Rookie of the Year thing.
Yeah.
He doesn't get that kind of bump, even though he's playing just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And again, I think it might just be the Eagles too, even though he's having a great year.
Yeah.
Eagles, a lot of the players don't get a whole heck of a lot of love. Yeah. Maybe it's just on the West Coast where I'm at. Maybe that's what it is. But I look on eBay, we do the chart tracking, the card ladder. You don't really see.
Yeah,
again,
I also feel like the city of Philadelphia has, or like people that don't live in Philadelphia dislike anything Philly because I'm a Pittsburgh guy. My family's from up there, so for me, you say Philadelphia and it's like ugh, like you know Flyers, Eagles. I mean, even the 76ers sometimes, or you know, just that whole area just seems like they get a bad rep, and I think a lot of it too could be their fans sometimes aren't the nicest or the most composed with certain things. So I feel like that definitely puts like a bad taste in everybody's mouth where they're like, I'd rather see Kansas City beat Philadelphia. I don't want.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
See,
I
I'm
love
a Raider
Barkley.
Nation, man, and I
love Barkley.
despise them.
And if he was on any other team, I'd be rooting for them. But
Sure.
if they could somehow give Barkley a ring without Philadelphia winning, I would be happy.
Yeah.
I'm not a Philly, you know, the eastern side of Pennsylvania or any central Ohio or anything like that. It's kind of a.
It's just rough, man, because I like Andy Reid as a coach. I think he's a phenomenal coach.
It is the Andy Reid Bowl again.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
Wild. Yeah, so it's I think hobby-wise with it, that to answer your question, long-winded answer on that one, I think people are fatigued from seeing the same Super Bowl. I think the playoffs ignited the enthusiasm and excitement with the cards again. And then now it's dying off dramatically because of who's in there. But it was fun to watch. It was fun to see what was happening with everybody. It was fun to be part of the Jaden Daniels hunt, kind of like the CJ Stroud last year. It happens every year too. I mean, just a quick side note with it: that PSA 10 that sold for almost $1,400 base Prism Jaden Daniels PSA 10. It's insane.
Yeah. Well, I saw a thing on Instagram. It was like showing like a 7-day span of like each day a PSA 10 was sold. It was like the 18th was like $2,600. Then it was like 21, and then it dropped to like 18, and then it went back up to like 2, and then it was like the week or like a couple of days after he lost, and it was like 900, 800, 800, and it was like even then you're still buying it for 800 is crazy after he lost.
Yeah. So crazy story with that. I watched a guy on TikTok. He actually sold a Jaden Daniels card. The guy, Jaden Daniels, they wound up winning. But the guy canceled it, said, "Oh, I no longer want it." The next weekend, Jaden played, and they won in the playoff. And the guy tried to repay for the card because he wound up winning.
Yeah, he wanted it for the price. He wanted yesterday's price.
Yeah, exactly. The guy's like, "No, man, that's not how that's going to work." Exactly. The card basically tripled right now on you. But it is, it does definitely do fatigue with it, and I'm excited though. I'm excited to see what's going to happen in the Super Bowl, if the Eagles do get it, I want to see if Saquon gets a bump. I want to see what happens with that. If they play lights out and Hurts just goes off, does his stuff go up then? I mean, I don't think so.
Yeah,
personally,
I don't know. Yeah, that's a weird one because it's like you said, it's just his pattern or the way he is in his career doesn't match the patterns of the hobby with
right. Although you have like Justin
quarterbacks.
Herbert that goes to that starts playing well, his market goes up.
Yeah.
Burrow plays lights out last year, his market is going up.
Yeah.
Hurts is going to a Super Bowl and his market stays the exact same.
Yeah,
It's
I also think
absolutely wild.
I also think too because people probably view it as like the only thing they really added was Barkley. Like they still have the pretty much same offense and all that, and then they did way better. So it's like, at what point was it Barkley's success that made him go to the Super Bowl, or was it Hurts?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of thing where it's like when the Bengals are good, it's because of Joe Burrow. When the Chargers are good, it's because of Justin Herbert and or even
Harbaugh, the coach, the coach going there
stuff
doing
like that.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a lot of people just view Hurts as like he's an above average quarterback, but he's like not that guy quarterback. Where it's like when the team's good, it's because he's playing well. It's like he always gives you your consistent
super
20,
consistent.
25, maybe 30 passing touchdowns,
Right.
10 running, tush push. And, it's limited interceptions because he's throwing to A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
Probably the best duo 1-2 in the league. So it's like I feel like they think that he kind of like he's systemly good to where it's
You
like,
just said something, though, that I want to jump on real quick. You said the best duo, like the best 1-2. The best duos that's coming out currently right now, Pete Carroll, Max Crosby.
No.
Pete Carroll to the
I don't
Las
know
Vegas
about that.
Raiders. Max Crosby hanging out with him during that, and then Marshawn Lynch being there too, yelling Raiders. Come on.
Yeah, we'll see.
Now, what if they get Russell Wilson, right? They got Max Crosby in there. We're gonna bring over who else were they talking about bringing
You
back?
could bring
over
back
there?
Richard Sherman if you really want to.
No,
Get the band back
I
together.
don't like that guy at all.
Yeah.
Richard Sherman he's not too much for me, but I'm excited as a Vegas as a Las Vegas Raiders fan. I'm incredibly excited to see Pete Carroll there. Pay Max Crosby, please keep that guy around. He is a heart and soul of that darn team.
Yeah.
And then if Steelers decide they want to let go of Russell Wilson, Raiders are definitely going to be the one to pick him up. Even though I still am an Aiden O'Connell fan.
Yeah,
And
as long
Aiden
as
I
they
trust.
as long as they don't draft the wrong guy because of the name, with the Byron Young or whatever, when they drafted the wrong Byron Young.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys could have had.
We get Shiloh Sanders.
Yeah. Like, we got our quarterback of the future, Shiloh.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. The draft is coming up on the next podcast. We talk about. We'll actually get into a little bit more of the draft and where we think some of those guys are going to go. We're excited for that too. That always gives a nice little bump to the hobby.
Yeah. So something interesting I was kind of noticing. It seems like there's, I don't know how to put it, like a kind of a rise in a sense of sports viewership with Netflix kind of putting on sporting events now and sports entertainment with like wrestling and stuff like that. Having a Christmas Day game, or even what was the other one they had down there? It was like the Mike Tyson fight, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like having a pay-per-view type stuff. That's stuff that would probably be on ESPN or other sports outlets. What do you think? Like, what do you think the effect of that will be on like the hobby with cards and like kind of bringing sports, making it more accessible? I feel like we were talking about like internationally now it's all on. If it's at 7 p.m. Eastern, it's on at the same time and stuff like that.
It's a good question. I think that is going to do a significant bump in the hobby, especially for wrestling. I'm a wrestling fan, grew up loving WWF, WWE. They were plugging Topps Chrome the entire episode, and it's fantastic. The cards look amazing. They're doing retro cards in there as well. So, I mean, for people like you said, you hit the nail on the head, right? So Netflix makes it so everybody can watch the games at the same time. If it's 5 o'clock Monday Night Raw, we all know that we're all going to be watching Monday Night Raw at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredibly cool. And them being able to plug with Topps being on with WWE cards, it's the leader in sports cards, Fanatics Topps. So, I mean, with them having the backing of it as well, the cards are looking amazing, and they're able to base storylines around stuff. I saw they talk about like Roman Reigns being the new character of the 2K of the new 2K game.
Yeah.
So I mean, they bring all of that into their storylines now as well. I think that's fantastic. I think with Netflix potentially getting football, if YouTube doesn't get it and Netflix has it, look at how many Americans are going to get to see anywhere in the world, right? I mean, who already has Netflix, get to see football, get to see these different games and stuff like that. Hopefully it's not crazy package like YouTube.
The price increase is coming.
Yeah, but I think it's going to help the hobby. I really do. I think it's going to help the hobby, and I think it helps like the entertainment side of our hobby with wrestling. Like our select wrestling did incredibly well, and this Friday we have Topps Chrome WWE coming out, and I think that's going to do very, very well based upon just the viewership that's been going on with Netflix and the accessibility to it. I think it's going to help out a lot.
Mm-hmm. I'm just, my biggest thing too is I was thinking about it more so on like the actual, like not necessarily with the hobby, but it's like, what does that look like then with, we're going to have Amazon Prime Thursday night games anymore? Or is like all of a sudden now Netflix can do Friday games? Because there's like this weird rule I saw where it's like NFL technically can't play on Friday or something like that until it's like after a certain time or certain time of year or something. That's why with like the certain Netflix games they've had this year, they've been on like Fridays or like a Tuesday or something weird where it's like, because it's going to become, to me, I feel like it's going to become like very split of, it's going to be wrestling, football, Netflix, and then you have your NBA is going to be with Amazon because they just got bought. Yep. With that, the Turner Broadcasting rights got bought by Amazon. Yeah. So I think that's going to kind of, it'll make it easier in a sense, I think, because it's like you only know the two places it'll be on, but in the same sense it could make it difficult for people that maybe don't, have streaming, or are strictly just cable, or not saying to be funny, but like older people that are like, what's Netflix? They remember Netflix being you ordered a DVD from a magazine, and it showed up in the mail, and you got to keep it, and then you send it back, right?
Yeah,
like,
no, totally, no, that makes sense. I just, I think you're right. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when they start spreading these out so much and they're no longer on like your basic cable channel. Yeah. You can't just flip on the regular TV and watch a game on Sunday. Yeah. You're now logging into your well, I guess not logging in. Look at me sounding old. You just turn on your Netflix and you're already logged in, folks. Sorry, everybody. Things
unless
like that.
Unless you're using somebody else's, and then you got to re-log back in.
Mr. Netflix, which I do not. I don't pirate. I don't take anybody else's. Amazon, on the other hand, I do. But yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be the only interesting thing with people not being able just to turn on the television and get a chance to watch it. Just so simple. Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm excited to see what happens with it though. With football potentially moving if it goes off YouTube, and then wrestling with what it's currently doing on Netflix and bringing everybody into existence.
Yeah, it's kind of the new age of how stuff's going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's the new era, the new Triple H era.
But then at what point does Netflix just, the way they absorb everything, just becomes cable at that point? Yeah, like it becomes YouTube TV. Like it's, if you have everything that you're going to watch on it anyways, and then it just becomes
go in that direction. Yeah, Jake Paul and Tyson fight, things like that. I mean, they do a lot more of these live events. But again, it gets so many eyes on it, people talking about it. Mm-hmm. We had multiple people in here today talking about they wanted UFC and WWE cards. That was great. Yeah, that was fantastic to see all these other these sports with their cards being popular currently right now. But I think that's the trend. I think that's what's happening with sports cards. People are looking for other outlets than just a $500 box of football. Exactly. Yeah. They'll get a $25 blaster of WWE and pull some of their favorite characters. Mm-hmm. I think that's great. I absolutely love chatting about it throughout the day with that. Thank you, everybody, for listening to another episode of Wandering the Hobby with Ryno and Bailey. I do appreciate it. Everybody, mark your calendars. Check the box. February 22nd, we're having a Topps Rip Night at Ryno's. 702 Kentucky Street, Bellingham, Washington. Again, February 22nd, Topps Rip Night. We're going to have Slab Strong Tim here. He was here before for one of our big Rip Nights. It's going to be a blast. We're going to have food. We're going to do pack battles. We're going to have Dinger from the Bellingham Bells. He's going to be here as well. It's going to be a blast. Again, everybody, February 22nd. Make sure to stop by Ryno's, hang out with us, rip some packs, talk some sports, and just come say hi.
You're listening to Wanderin the Hobby with Ryno. Brought to you by Ryno Sports Cards and Memorabilia in Bellingham, Washington. For more, follow us on Instagram at Ryno Sports Cards or RynoSportsCards.com.